What is up, everybody? High five for showing up to yet again another guided breathwork training session. I'm happy that you're here. Again, I'm Anthony, here, your coach in the Summit Ready system. I'm assuming that if you're here joining this training, you are a part of the Summit Ready system program, or at the very least, you're on base camp doing some breathwork training with us. Today's session is very special. My goal for you today during this session is that you're going to feel more prepared to do pressure breathing when you're up on the mountain. Maybe you've heard that term before. Maybe you've even deployed that style of breathing out there on the mountain. It's something that a lot of people, guides, coaches coach in how to do it, but oftentimes there's either some misconceptions around what pressure breathing is, what are the actual benefits of it, and am I doing it right? So my goal is that you're going to feel good about pressure breathing so that you can pressure breathe your way to a higher blood oxygen saturation level when you're up at altitude on the mountain. So for today's session, what you're really going to need is a balloon. If you don't have a balloon, that's okay. We're going to make some adjustments. You can use your fist, and depending on how tightly you clench your fist, that's going to gauge your resistance. But ideally, you do have a balloon. We're going to do both the 1-minute balloon test, and then we're going to do some actual balloon breathing as we go. Okay? So that's the plan for today. That's a part of the plan. We're obviously going to work on some other things as we go as well. So why don't you go ahead and make your way to that seated position as usual. We're going to begin with a nose unblocking exercise. That's critical for everything that we do. We need to have a clear, ready to go nose. So from that seated position, with me, go ahead and take a normal breath in, and then a normal breath out. Pinch your nose and hold your breath. Gently nod your head up and down. Maybe we're here for 3, 2, 1. Release your nose. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe normally for 3 breaths. And after that third breath, take a normal in, normal out, pinch and hold, nod your head up and down. We're waiting for that medium level of air hunger. So when you reach medium air hunger, go ahead and release your nose, breathe in through your nose. We want to breathe in through the nose immediately after that breath hold. That brings in some nasal nitric oxide, helps to clear out the nose as we go. Again, coming back to 3 normal breaths. And after that third normal breath in, breath out, pinch your nose, hold your breath, nodding up and down. After you reach medium air hunger, release the nose, breathe in through your nose. Good. Maybe you notice more moisture in the air, like it's kind of cleared up. We're going to drop into breathe light now. This is going to help train our carbon dioxide tolerance. The way to do that, as usual, go ahead and place your finger underneath your nose, rest your shoulder. I don't want any tension up in the face, the neck, or the shoulders here. Take a normal breath in through your nose, normal breath out. And you'll notice the air running across your finger on the way in and out. And now begin to slow down your breathing to the point that you can barely feel the air run across your finger on the way in and out. And as you slow down your breathing, maybe you're going to introduce that feeling of air hunger, the feeling like you need to take a much bigger breath. When you reach that air hunger, do your best to control your breathing on the way in and on the way out. Relaxing into any contractions that are happening in your diaphragm. Relaxing into any contractions that are happening maybe up in your neck. Maybe there's like a slight pulsing sensation in the neck. We're going to stay here for another 2 minutes. Okay? You can do it. Relaxing into this rise in carbon dioxide is what is going to power you through that out of breath feeling that's happening, whether during training or on the mountain. This is going to help train your tolerance to that out of breath feeling. And if we can train the tolerance to out of breath, that means we're going to be able to maintain better breathing mechanics at higher and higher levels of altitude. You have 1 more minute. You can do it. Again, just focus on the very light breath coming in. Maybe it's a bit smaller than a normal breath for you, and then a very light breath going out. Try to control your breathing, especially at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. And if those become too uncontrollable, it means you've actually slowed down your breathing too much. Take a couple of normal breaths and then drop back into that very slow, light breathing again. 30 more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and relax. So that was breathe light. Again, training for that carbon dioxide tolerance. Now we're going to move on to is the 1 minute balloon test. So I'm going to have a timer running up here on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and begin that now. So we have the timer on the screen. We're going to go for 1 minute. I want you to blow up this balloon as many times as you can in 1 minute. Again, this is from a seated position. So absolutely, you must get in that seat. This is not something that we do standing up. And the other rule is that you're only inhaling through your nose. Okay? You cannot inhale through your mouth. All right? Inhale through the nose. And the inhale needs to be as full as possible, and the exhale needs to be as full as possible. Again, if you don't have a balloon, then this isn't going to be your true 1 minute balloon test, which is a part of training. But you can go ahead and blow into a fist. And the tension that you bring to your fist is how much resistance you're going to bring to the table, which is why with everybody's different tension in the fist, it's going to be a different score, theoretically, of how many times you can blow into your fist. But for those with the balloon, this is going to be a more accurate 1 minute balloon test. Okay? So from that seated position, we're about to begin. Go ahead and take a normal breath in through your nose. Normal breath out. And now deep inhale through the nose and begin. I want you to count the number of times that you inflate the balloon. Notice that my shoulders are not moving. All of the air is coming from my lower lungs because I'm engaging the diaphragm with each and every breath. Again, relax the muscles in your face and your neck and your shoulders. Try to get 2 more. Time. All right, that was the 1 minute balloon test. Nice job. How many times did you blow up that balloon? You can drop that in the comments here if you want to, just to let me know how many times. Just for our collective enjoyment, I'm going to blow out this balloon now. Well, that was actually really weak. That was good. It wasn't as much of a farting sound as usual. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that screen. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to continue sharing the screen. We're going to go into actual balloon breathing now, which effectively is going to be the same thing as 1 minute balloon breathing, but I'm going to do a progression. We're going to do it as intense as possible for 30 seconds. Then we're going to do 1 minute. Then we're going to do it for 2 minutes. This is going to be a very strong expiratory muscle training workout here today. All right. So I'm going to reset the clock. Again, you are sitting down in that chair. Once again, if you didn't do this too much the first time, I want you to focus as much as possible on relaxing the muscles in your face and your neck and your shoulders. Notice how I do this and try your best to mimic how I do it. I'm not breathing like that. It's expansion into that lower diaphragm, that thoracic cavity, not that upper chest area, okay? Balloon ready. We're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock now. Not minutes, 30 seconds. If I can do it. And in 3, 2, 1, begin that inhale through the nose. Whoa. If you bust your balloon, hopefully you have a backup. Five more seconds. Let's go. Good. Go ahead and stop. Relax. I want you breathing normally in through the nose, maybe on a count of 5, and then exhale on a count of 5. This is the perfect way to recover with light, slow, deep breathing. Sometimes I call that LSD breathing. Don't ask why. Light, slow, and deep. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. We're going to recover for the next 30 seconds or so. And then we're going to jump into a 1 minute session. Again, I'm repeating myself here, but if you don't have a balloon, just simply use your fist, blow into your hand like you're trying to warm up your hand. And how tightly you want to make that fist is how much resistance it's going to be. And that's going to change how hard it is. You might think tighter fist means it's going to be harder. Well, a looser fist might mean that you're going to be breathing more times per minute. So it's kind of like a self-calibrating type of thing. All right, just 5 more seconds on the recovery. And then I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock. 3, 2, 1, begin. Again, I want you to make each breath full as possible. Full inhale, full exhale. Squeeze the air out of the bottom, maybe even slightly curl over your abdomen. Your abdomen is your primary expiratory muscles, as well as your inner intercostal muscles in the rib cage. So these are the muscles that we're working on here. 10 seconds. And stop. All right, good job. Relax for another minute. Light, slow, and deep breathing in through the nose. Inhale on a count of 5. Exhale on a count of 5. At the end of this last round of pressure breathing, I'm going to put everything together for you in an explanation on why this, in fact, helps with our pressure breathing on the mountain. And what exactly is pressure breathing? I'm going to give you that download here after this last set. But this one is going to be 2 minutes, okay? It's going to be the most intense round. Do your best, even as you fatigue toward the end of that 2 minutes, which is likely to happen. Try to maintain proper mechanics. Breathing through the nose, fully and deeply, engaging your diaphragm on the inhale, and then breathing pursed lips through the mouth, out into the balloon, curl maybe slightly, use your abdomen to collapse down into that thoracic space here. 5 more seconds. And we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's balloon number 2. I'm going to go through the fist now. "30 more seconds, stick with it. Even if you're feeling lightheaded, try to relax. Again, the muscles in the face, neck, and shoulders. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. Three, 2, 1, and you're done. Nice job. Light, slow, and deep breathing. Inhale on the count of 5. Exhale on the count of 5. You're just breathing light, slow, and deep to recover. And I'm also figuring out how to stop sharing. There. Nice job. Let's take another 3 breaths together, maybe. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Just notice how you feel in your diaphragm and your intercostal muscles. If you feel like you got in your abdomen, you feel like you got a bit of a workout there, that helped to train our expiratory muscles. And remember, what pressure breathing, and even if you don't know this offhand, pressure breathing is an exercise protocol, breathing protocol that we use at high altitude. The way that it works is you simply purse your lips and you breathe on the exhale, pushing the air out like you're blowing out a straw. This is going to slow down your exhale, right? Your exhales are going to be longer. It's also going to introduce more pressure inside the lungs. That's why it's called pressure breathing. And the advantage of having more pressure inside your lungs is that inside your lungs, you have a bunch of these little tiny air sacs. They're called alveoli. Those alveoli are actually how oxygen gets diffused into your bloodstream. If you maintain more pressure inside your lungs by extending the exhale like you're blowing out a straw, that extra pressure is going to keep those alveoli inflated and under pressure, which allows more oxygen to diffuse through the walls of the alveoli. That means the oxygen is going to get more into your blood, which is going to help you increase that blood oxygen saturation level, which is one of the key metrics that is used to identify who's going to have acute mountain sickness on the mountain versus who is not going to. We want to maintain higher blood oxygen saturation levels at altitude. Pressure breathing is one of the ways in which we do that. So we train the expiratory muscles so that you can do more efficient pressure breathing when you're on the mountain, right? Does that all make sense? That's why we're actually doing this. So I hope that was helpful explanation. The way that I just want to end is very simple, a little long tail exhale exercise. It's a little meditative protocol. We're going to inhale on a count of 4 and exhale on a count of 8. Anytime I say long tail exhale, it means the exhale is going to be longer than the inhale. So once again, still from a seated position, go ahead and completely relax. I want you sitting nice and straight and upright, but relax the muscles in your face, your neck, and your shoulders. Maybe put one hand on your lower belly here. Maybe one hand up on your chest. Breathe in and feel your belly expand for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. And last time, inhale. And exhale. And relax as you exhale. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and allow your natural breathing to come back to you. Maybe you notice a bit of a downshift in your nervous system. Maybe you feel a bit more relaxed than you did before. Anytime we exhale longer than we inhale for, that sends the message to the body to slow down, to calm down, that you don't need to be highly stressed in that fight or flight state. So that is your guided breathing session for today. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit educational, but hopefully you feel like you also worked those expiratory muscles. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a great week. See you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.